So this is the Pizza Luce example, and we have some starting code. We display this menu, and we ask the user to pick something, and then we have this in a loop so they can keep picking until they pick number 6 when they're done ordering, so they can order multiple items. And we have some code here. I've taken that code and just put it into a project here. And again, it runs just fine here. What would you like to order? And I can order something. It'll display that here. Maybe I'll make this a little bigger. And it'll ask me what else I want to order. I can order something else to display that. And eventually I hit 6 and it'll quit. So that's the idea of this. Now I wanted to do this in methods here. So one, I display this menu here. And so I want to put this in its own method. So I'm going to add a method. You can add it below or above. I'm just for ease of seeing it, going to add it above here, I think. So it's public, static, void, and then it's going to display the menu. So I'm just going to call it display menu. No parameters right now, and then have the code. And I'm going to just I'm going to copy this code or just all the printouts and put it up there. And then down where those printouts were, I'm just going to call, what do I call it? Display menu. So basically all I've done was, let me reformat this. All I've done was taken this menu display code, all the printouts, and moved it up into its own method and called it where that code was. And I'm going to do the same thing for this, all these if-then statements. Now I have to watch my data here because this is going to use the menu order. So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to, up here, I'm going to add a new public static void method. I'm going to start with void right now, and then I'm going to call this. So this is my menu selection, maybe here. Menu selection. I'm going to try it without any parameters to start. And so again, I'm going to take this big if-then structure and move it up there. So I'm gonna copy it initially and put it up here. And then I'm going to call menu selection and replace this big menu structure that I copied up there with this call to menu selection. For that. Now, the one problem I have is that menu selection, that code uses this menu order number. That's in my main program. I read it in here, but I need it in this method. So in order to get it there, I need to add it as a parameter. So I look, it's an integer. So I'm going to declare an integer variable here. I'm going to say int menu order number. I'm going to name it the same, but I don't necessarily have to. But because of the code here, I have. Let me see if I can have that there. Okay. And then down here, when I call menu selection, I have to pass in that as a parameter. So now everything should work okay, I think. I should run this again. Order something from the menu, order something else in the menu. If it's 6, it'll quit here. So again, all I've done was move things up. I have a display menu and a menu selection methods. And then my main loop, I say do display menu. I read in the input. I then call menu selection up here with the order. And I keep doing this while the menu order does not equal 6 here. So it's a nice, concise way of setting this up here. For this. Now this would be a nice way, and again, for a beginning programmer, I think this is a good way. We do have one parameter. I have to pass the menu order up here for this here. I'm just going to show you another more advanced solution here because we've talked about returning a value here. So I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do is move all this menu order stuff. It's really only used in here a lot. So I'm going to move this this variable up into my menu selection class. I'm going to move this input up there. I'm going to redo my formatting here. And I don't need this parameter here. I'm just going to use that right up here. So I'm going to, now, one thing you'll find is that now my scanner is not declared. So I have a scanner here in my main program. I actually don't need it in my main program. I need it just up here in my method. So I'm going to move my scanner up there too for this. So now I am displaying the menu. I'm then doing my menu selection, and I don't have to pass anything up there. The only thing, and so that looks fine. It's a nice little loop here. Display menu, process the menu selection, and do this. But now I keep doing this while the menu order does not equal 6. And so one thing I do need this menu order returned back here. So I need to, this menu selection needs to return a number here. So I'm going to change it from void to int here. So now menu selection will get an integer. Now I could store that in a temporary variable here, but one neat thing I can do is I can just call menu selection here in my loop and have it return a value. So now up here, I have to make sure I'm returning the menu selection the menu order number. It's not type today. Okay. So now my main program just says display the menu and do this while the menu selection does not equal 6, which is a nice simple loop. The menu selection declares the scanner, reads in the menu selection, and then based on that prints out what you ordered and then returns that here. So it returns the menu selection. So that's why I can call this menu selection right here inside my while check because it will return whatever the user inputs and we'll check if it's ready to go. So again, this is a little more complicated than that. So in this answer, I show both versions, a simple version and a complicated version here. And I think for this class, the simple version is probably good, but I just want to walk you through this more complicated version just to show you how when you do more programming, you'd probably program it. All right. Stop recording this.